rising with each beat of the music is bringing. We're flames in the fire that keeps burning. We're inviting the night in. Welcome, my heart's so full. I'm devoting myself to the night. There's no motive. We're just listening. We're existing. rather watch me fall from a quarter mile. I can see you at the call. Think about it, ring won't tell you what I saw. When you break it off, you'll see who had it all. You had it all. You said you wanted to fall into oblivion. Forget about the world we're living in. Fall into oblivion, 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 oblivion. I'm going in. Fall into oblivion. Fall into oblivion. Forget about the world we're living in. Fall into oblivion, 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 oblivion. I'm going in. You can't fall asleep when you're counting stars. Get it together. Your mind can't sleep when you let it serve. I know you wanna see me fall from a quarter mile. I can see you at the call. Think about it, ring won't tell you what I saw. When you break it off, you'll see who had it all. You had it all. You said you wanted to fall into oblivion. Forget about the world we're living in. Fall into oblivion, oblivion.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back for a lovely game of CEA Siege. Today we will bring in a match on the invite side as we have Rutgers University versus New York Tech. And of course, I am Keldef, joined here today by Coinman.
Hello.
And tonight, hopefully, we'll have a very fun match. As for our maps today, we actually have two of the more well-known Fragger maps, as we have Coastline coming in as our first pick from NYT, and as for Rutgers, they had decided to pick Border for the second map, and we're just getting things all settled up. You have any predictions for today, Coinman?
I personally think it was a split because looking back in their match history for each of the maps that they chose, MYT, when they last played Coastline, they won that one 7-2. And when Rutgers last played their map of Border, they won 7-4. So I expect similar score lines to that, or at least favoring their person since those splits were so definitive. Less so on Rutgers' side than MYT, but I still expect a reasonable split favoring the team who picked their own map.
Oh yeah, and especially with NYT actually being able to attack first as well on a map that I've heard some arguments go back and forth of whether or not it's defender sided or not. So it's actually a pretty good position to be in to start on attack on coastline. Is generally speaking, with sites like Hookah, there's not a lot of bad takes for the attackers to pull off here, as the defenders generally have to kind of put themselves in different angles that are kind of more exposed. And if you don't pull off that setup perfectly, you'll end up putting yourself in a little bit weird predicament, as you might be able to get punished from a frag grenade above, or possibly even just a straight up rush. So, as we are getting things ready up today, I do. Oh yeah, we will be joined today from the side of Rutgers. First of all, I want to highlight some of these players. As we have Parmesan, No Toilet at Home, Bud E, Taco Sheen, Big Sip, and of course from the side of New York Tech, we have Mac NYIT, Uyum, Money, Blatteroid, and Not Salmon New York. And yeah, we'll be starting off soon, but as we are just taking a little bit of a time to make sure everything's all ready and going for the map. As I said before, New York Tech will be attacking first for the site of Coastline. And yeah, you have any thoughts, Koyman?
Yeah, I'm kind of excited to see Coastline because Hookah has definitely been falling out of favor lately, which is a very interesting development. Especially because it's become more attacker side, more specifically with the inclusion of the uh, new attackers, at least in Pro League, and those defenders have been helping some in Wamai, though we can't use those yet until we go into playoffs. So we'll see exactly how in the slightly older meta both these teams will be able to sauce out exactly what is best to do. And now we are heading right into this map here. New York attacking, and if I remember correctly, how bans work with the first ban. Hey, I was right.
Yeah.
Or I was
And
wrong. I
I
lied. It's Rutgers first. Oh no.
I also like to highlight as well, since this is the final week of Invite, this also means that today is cross divisional day. So both these teams, as far as I am aware, have never actually played each other against each other. So this will be a little bit interesting for both teams, as they may not be so comfortable with each other compared to the other matches that we've seen so far in Invite. Whereas it's kind of structured more toward a double round robin, so you play every single team once, or sorry, twice. And of course, since this is now cross second cross divisional, these teams are going to be playing each other from separate divisions, and they're going to be trying to fight for a nice spot in the seeding within the league.
Yeah, and now we are in the fun time where we have no windows. So because as Blackbeard has been banned, so very few people will be hanging on those windows, as most of the windows on the side of Coastline are very, very exposed. And also the banning of Ivana makes Hookah that much safer because now you have to upside down repel with a thermite to try and get the little bar open on the second floor in pool room.
Yeah, I think at that point you're not going to really see anyone really going for the bar in pool, because man, just repelling on that head is that is a little suicidal, as you're exposed from a lot of different angles, and there's almost no way your team could really cover you in that situation. And of course, we'll be seeing the classic and usual Echo Band. Just really strong operator. What can you really say at this point, considering I don't think he really gets the light of day anymore?
So, do you prefer to ban Maestro or Echo, especially now that Echo can be called by Dokebi, and the drones are significantly more visible?
Ac- Yeah, the ability for Echo to actually get
Oh,
called by Dokkaebi is also really nice and change. It looks like we're going to see a lack of intel ops for the defenders, as both Maestro and Echo are going to be going from this match. And yeah, now we're going to just probably see a Valk being brought or a lot of deployable camps, because that intel is probably one of the strongest points of this game.
yeah, this is going to be extremely interesting, as usually one of those operators stays unbanned in favor of banning one of the tech operators, like maybe Mozzie, or not as common, but sometimes Smoke, like one of those particular tech operators. But now we see on the defensive side, at least at first blush, we have Pulse, Moggy, Jaeger, Smoke, Mozzie. Wow, I can English. Jaeger, Smoke, and Doc. And on the attacker side, we have Zofia, Jackal, Twitch, Nomad, and Buck. Also, what are your thoughts on the Buck changes?
Honestly, throughout time, I always looked at the Buck and Sledge as both those operators are very, very similar. So I always try to figure out which situations that will be better for what, especially when I'm the one playing it. And it hit a point where I realized, 90% of the time you pick Buck, and you're never wrong. Like, even if the site's on first floor, you pick Buck, you can still shoot down, no problem. And even though Sledge will get more uses out of the hammer compared to the shotgun, it's like Buck is almost the ultimate safe pick in terms of trying to play vertical like that. So them actually taking away his grenades kind of gives Sledge a little bit more of an advantage, and actually might toss up on how people will end up playing the operator. As like I think I've already seen like a Twitter clip where somebody was just smashing the ceiling of a villa with the hammer as well, just using max height and distance just to be able to cheese it out, and it was interesting to see. Might be able to see stuff more like that coming out, as now, Sludge with grenades, really important in the game with, Goyo shields, and then people just hiding in corners, and, the ADSs needing to be flushed out and whatnot. Might be able to see better use.
Cool, and now as we're entering the attacking round, we actually had no 6-picks in this particular case, and we are going to see a hookah defense with a rather standard setup, I'd say. Nothing particularly exciting from either team in terms of choice or how they're deciding to hold here. I guess the only interesting bit is the Smoke holding right in the northwest corner of hookah room there as the door's getting broken open.
Yeah, a little bit interesting as looks like they're going to be taking pretty quickly downstairs, as we already have Zofia entering into Sunrise, as both the roamers will be looking like they're playing inside kitchen area, using that pulse scanner to see if they get a C4 onto anyone inside that tries to enter penthouse. But from the look of it, does not look like any of the attackers will be going there, and it also looks like they will be droned out and forced to move around, as the attackers starting to pinch in slowly around them. Shots will go from Sunrise all the way to kitchen onto that Mozzie. He won't be down and out yet, but will definitely be a little bit hurt, as shots are now just being flung across walls. Just at this point, you just press them down and make afraid as you escape, and Uyum will take down Big Sip, but with the kill onto Mac with that SMG-11. And now we're seeing a little bit things pick up. Oh my goodness, Blatteroid taking down Taco. 1 minute 30 seconds left on the clock. Another one goes on as Parmy walks down the staircase and shoots the Jackal right in the head, and it looks like we're going to be a little disconnect from O'Toole at home, as we have the shotgun shots starting to pressure onto the first floor as well.
Yeah, shotgun. Turns out vertical floors are a two-way street, and you can do some fancy stuff with the shotgun, as Money manages to take out Sean and Parmesan in that case, and now it looks like he now has reconnected. Now we're in an actual 2v3 with a minute left on the clock. Nobody is particularly sure where anyone is, but we have two right outside Aquarium, as our good friend Jaeger has been slightly droned out.
Yeah, things are going to start getting really, really scary here, as every kill's going to end up mattering. Window is going to be opened up. Looks like No Toilet's going to go for the peek. Just swings on the door and gets shot up. Will get taken down, as Uyum will punish him for that movement. And now at this point, Buddy going to be playing on this rotation. Going to see if he could be able to throw the smoke the second that the plant goes off. 2 smokes left on. And 30 seconds, that's almost perfect timing for him to be able to go for it. He will hear the plant. Will he be able to stop it? Actually, looks like they were prone instead. And down he goes, as Uyum will just take him out, prone beside the bomb.
I do believe that the smoke actually did manage to see Uyum first. However, it looked like the planter and not like a shooter because that's roughly the same height from that angle. So that was rather unfortunate in that particular instance. But that was a rather successful attack coming out from NYT. I was mildly surprised considering the early picks and trades that we saw that it actually ended up that way, considering many of the operators with utility were killed somewhat early. And also, I didn't see any Jackal utility used, which was kind of interesting. So I'm very curious to see exactly how people will be able to actually utilize their operators on both sides. And the Legion coming out, not hurting anyone as much anymore, so it doesn't randomly down people, which is a nice change.
Yeah, for sure. The Legion really at this point is kind of a little bit harder to use in the sense that you don't know which goo mine went off. But now, if you play every other trap operator, you could generally start to do some math in your head and eliminate, where they could be. And generally speaking, that operator still gives like a lot of information, especially when you put it in smaller enclosed areas. Therefore, you don't have to play the guessing game of which trap went off when they're all relatively within the same section of the map, and it allows them to just still be very dominant in that type of play.
In a similar regard, what are your thoughts on the removal of the super shorty from good old Mod?
Honestly speaking, Mozzie was like one of those characters that's like, as a roamer, he pretty much has everything you would ever want and need. Because like you have the spiders to prevent intel from getting at you, and like you see operators like Vigil, bringing that backpack, trying to do the same thing, and then get punished out to an IQ. And with Mozzie, it's just that bit more safer, as you're not going to get wall banged and hit with the spider. And not only that, but yeah, the ability to rotations with that shotgun, he's such a strong operator, and seeing a little bit of nerf, I'm interested to see how it turns out, but definitely something I like to see.
Cool, and now we see Pulse in the bathroom looking at the people outside of service entrance, seeing a whole single person as the second person isn't as close. But Twitch seemingly knew that the Pulse was there as he runs all the way back to Sunrise Bar downstairs and realize he now has vacated the bathroom. Jaeger sitting in securities. We have two people moving into the service entrance as Mac manages to take out Taco on the roam here. The Mozzie out early, probably not necessarily getting all of the utility as we see a big exchange, and Buddy takes out his own friend. Oh no, he's not really that much of a buddy anymore. As we see Jaeger here fighting with people in the lobby, trying to make do with the people in the small office in the back and the lobby being pinched and droned out. This is likely not ending well for him.
Yeah, at this point you can see here he's just trying to focus on one side of the room, hopefully win that side of the fight, so that way he can push his way forward. But Uyum gonna push in from behind and shut him down as he gets concussed from the Zofia. Really good teamwork there from New York Tech here, as they're gonna start to work on the lower part of the floor to be able to clear out Big Sip out of that aquarium area. And now it's just all down to Buddy. 3 smokes in a dream here as he has minute 20 on the clock. And all the attackers are now pushing onto A site, and we'll be able to get the plants off relatively quickly. Jackal Tracker goes off. Shot's getting blown across his head. He's going to try to go for the shot, but unfortunately, recoil was just a little bit too much, and Bladderoid will finish him out.
I'm not entirely sure where that round ended up falling apart, as we didn't necessarily get a great look at it on the observer side. I assume it was just the entry, from what it looked like, just the entry into that small office was very, very good, and manages to get 3 different people in 3 different places.
Yeah, from what it looks like, it just the side of Rutgers is kind of like split up a little bit on the roam, and then what's ended up happening is one of them gets pinched off, and then at that point they can't really get too much going, and then the kill feed just starts flying across the screen as every single roamer's getting taken out early. And once they get that control of the roaming, they are not afraid at that point to just push onto site, knowing that the numbers are low at that point, and they've just been really dominant at the pacing from NYT.
Yep. And now we are moving into the third round here, trying a different bomb site this time, moving to kitchen service, which definitely plays significantly differently, as it's one of the few bomb site, or what now the majority of favored bomb sites these days, that actually has a 2-story element to it, because you have to have a reasonable hold upstairs, as the entire floor is soft and a buck is currently in play.
Yeah, for sure. It looks like Parmy is opting to reinforce that part of kitchen, where You'll see some teams just opt to leave it soft and then shock on the top. That way, if you have more of an aggressive roam style where you can stay alive long enough to play up there, you can stop anyone from entering that kitchen window and give you a nice sight line, as the kitchen window area is kind of hard to peek as an anchor itself, and generally is a little bit more dangerous. So it might be seeing a little bit more of a passive roam side onto the top side of the site, trying to hold off from anything there. Look, oh my goodness, look at the Jaeger just running out full speed there. Not going to catch any kills, and will also give out that little plan there. And Money already just laughing it off as he didn't really be able to catch anyone off there.
Well, he got someone a decent amount. He got Uyum a fair amount there, but just managed to not kill him off. But did a decent amount of damage. I guess it must have clipped him in the shoulder at that point.
Yeah, probably just barely missed the head. And looks like, getting some shots onto Theater. Just trying to pressure out anyone playing back there and make sure that they're wary that now he has made a hole as well. As they start to push up all around, and Mac going to take down Parmesan super early. That's the Vigil dead now. So that at this point they're going to be breathing a little bit easier, knowing that one of the heavy roam operators are gone. But we still have Big Sip and Legion. Looks like they will be playing a little bit more loosely around the site, as Bud will get tracked out almost immediately after I say that.
Interestingly enough, I'll note that I do believe that Mac has gotten every single entry frag so far.
Oh,
as an interesting tidbit. I'm curious as to why, and I believe it has been on 2 different people in completely different places. So his entry hasn't been consistent either, which is a rather interesting point. As someone got hit for 5 with the Nomad. Oh boy, that's exciting, and that's a very good angle there down into Courtyard.
Yeah, at that point, that Nomad charge not going to be able to stop anyone from coming up from those staircases, as they're just going to be focusing hard on trying to open up the vertical angles and try to punish it. And it looks like the Buck will be punished as well, as Taco Sheen just going to blast him down. Going to be going for the C4. Will he catch someone? No, he won't, but he was super close with it as well. Mac trying to watch over toward the front lobby, try to see if he can catch any free kills, as we do have someone playing around that area. No toilet at home with the Jaeger. Playing around the doorway, looks like, of service, playing a little bit risky in that positioning. But Taco's still going to be challenging the people upstairs. He's trying to show off. You may have these vertical holes on me, but I have vertical holes on you technically by them existing. And now, we're going to be seeing push starting to come more toward the first floor as the clock is ticking down. 44 seconds in the clock. Money's going to be trying to play in this front door, and looks like Big Sip going to shut down a little bit of that Sunrise push that William was trying to bring as well. And now the Jackal scan coming off. Going to get Doc.
Yeah, and now we're rounding into the last 30 seconds as Mac manages to get Big Sip. The Doc is now down, and Money getting no toilet, who is standing right in the corner there. And now we're suddenly Buddy trying to do the retake, and now we're in a 2v2 with somehow the Mute still on site with 2 concussions coming back in, as Mute with the smoke coming out, actually protecting himself, is getting sightlines onto the proning Money. Now we're in a 1v2. The last one in the window, I believe. Yeah. Mac is down, was standing, and nobody knows where he is, as now we're planting the diffuser. Let's see if Money manages to see the swing out. No, he doesn't!
Oh my goodness.
And New York manages to win the round on the power of the bleeding out withstand. Oh boy.
For a second, I thought it was a Nomad that peeked out. I'm like, wait, why would he peek out? He has the diffuser. He was fine. But he actually just repositioned himself right to the doorway so that the Sophia, who can withstand, actually was able to just perfectly cover from that doorway and pull off that kill there. One of the reasons why Sophia is such a strong operator, the ability to just pick yourself up really comes into play with moments like that.
Yeah, it's one of those rare cases where that's actually relevant. It rarely ever happens from my personal experience, but it's always great to see the actual mechanic of the operator being used.
Oh yeah, and it looks like we'll be heading right back into kitchen. Looks like Rutgers going to try to take this one again, as generally speaking, the last time they weren't terribly bad at it compared to the side of Hookah, and the round came down to just a literal point of whether or not Bud could actually go for that peak and take him down. So probably feeling a little bit more confident in trying to hold this one compared to the side of Hookah. We're going to be probably seeing a little bit the same of a setup, and I'm curious to know if Taco is going to end up playing just as aggressive and maybe even place down a little bit of a pre-play C4.
Yeah, this whole thing was entirely because, as we saw, because we aren't playing with points, we didn't know that the person was downed. So, and that's why that unfortunate instance happened, that they didn't know that they could push in on him. But alas, that's the whole point of this game, is we're to see a Goyo come out, new things. Rather exciting.
Oh yeah, Goyo is just an absolute monster at this game already. And realistically, it's like, okay, yeah, let's ban Mira because those walls and those, the lovely, lovely black mirrors are just so strong and don't allow you to push anywhere forward. But realistically speaking, the way that these deployment shields got changed, Goyo's kind of the exact same story, where you just have a shield in front of you that someone could easily just peek out from, as they're able to pre-fire you as well. Not only that, but when shot, they explode and leave down that that fire trap, and it will immediately stop you from being able to push. And it just stalls for so much time, and together with all the operators that they're bringing it, it's looking like they're trying to enforce that nice 20-second push meta.
Yep, and that seems to be where we're at for today. And wow, that was a really tight hit there, as we now have a firefight outside of Aquarium here. They're stuck outside of bar. Someone's doing a wide peek there. Jaeger's doing the wide peek, no toilet, into Hookah, with 2 people inside Hookah bar. As we see...
Oh, my goodness.
Someone got downed. Yeah, Big Set managed to get down there. I'm not sure from what, I guess a frag from the Buck, I think?
It would have to be a Buck frag grenade, perfectly placed to get behind there. As he didn't have ADS, it looks like he will finish him off from above. Really good actual, recognition there that he did get the down. Probably got a call out from that ping that was going off as well. Gets a shot onto Amelie, no toilet home, cleaning up the entire side of the roaming for Rutgers. And now at this point, the anchors are going to have to sit tight, as everything is going to start crumbling around them. And at this point, actually, we'll be seeing a little bit of a looser first floor roam from the side of Buddy on the other side of Office. So they're going to have a little bit of a comeback.
Is he going to get it?
Well, it doesn't look like he's going to go for it. He's waiting for it. He knows that they're going to hit that point eventually. And then the second that the floor opens up, he's just going to detonate it. No second thought.
Yep. And
he might be getting it soon here as the... Oh, yeah, there it is. Taco Sheen with the Nitro Cell. Perfectly timed. And he knew perfectly where to put it. Just putting it in the basis of that room, so no matter where he ends up getting bucked, if he detonates that C4, there's a large amount of that room that will get covered and will end up leaving that buck super hurt. Just shutting down Not Salomon, just as Bladderwood will shut down Buddy's roam here as well. Now just leaving it down to Parmy and Taco put together on the site. Will they be able to clutch this out? Let's see, as we have 40 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, and now Taco's being pressured from the other hole that he made, the one I believe that was made by the C4 in that particular case. However, I believe the C4 was smartly pre-placed so that they knew where Buddy had a habit, or Taco had a habit of sitting, so it'd be that exact angle for the buck. And now we got the last ping onto good old Parmesan, and he gets beaten up from above as the Jackal comes in. Now Taco, hearing the plant, and just sees him, takes a shot, hits him in the shoulder, and gets got by Bladderoid.
Yeah, just really unfortunate for his side. Just immediately just pulls off of the angle, and then the second that he does, unfortunately, will get peeked and shot. And it looks like on that side of the screen, he actually got shot through some smoke. But I actually don't remember some smoke from Tacos. Might be a little bit interesting of a spectator bug or something. But yeah, we'll be heading into our next round as well, as we go on to Hookah now.
Yay, client-sided stuff. But yeah, now we're going back to Hookah, as we had 2 times in Hookah, 2 times not in Hookah, and now we just got to try and run it back round again. I wonder if they're going to try for the last round, if they don't end up succeeding here in the Sunrise Blue Bar site, just for something entirely different to see if we can throw them off. So we have a Smoke Mute, Pulse, Alibi, and Doc on the defender side, and on the attacker side we have a Zofia, Jackal, Twitch, Nomad, and Buck.
Yeah, and Alibi being brought out here, going to be... Actually, that wasn't 6-pick, right? That was just straight up hard pick off the beginning. Yep. Yeah, so they're going to be expecting some of these Alibi traps. They're not really going for any, super big brain bamboozles where they, just out of nowhere whip out the Alibi, put it somewhere not too obvious, but still, in a good spot for it to get shot out. We'll see how the Alibi comes into play here, though, as... That gun is just super high fire rate, doesn't do too much damage, but because of the high fire rate, will still kill you relatively quickly. And as well as the good old traps being put around, that way to just kind of obscure her position a little bit if you're droning, and if you don't see that bottom line, or notice that she's super still, may not even realize that it's a fake.
5 seconds to insertion.
Yeah, that I have not seen that happen in Pro League yet, and nor do I expect it to. But I would be really excited if that was something that happened by entirely accident. But as it looks like we're seeing a very standard push here, no 8 cogs on the block, which has been pretty common these days. The Pulse is just chilling really close to everybody in that small office, seeing 2 people go upstairs into the aquarium balcony. And I don't know if he's going to try and do a run out on them or not, as we get a run out, a very ballsy run out with the good old Pulse shotgun. I didn't even notice that by No Toilet, as Parmesan is getting really heavy hit there by the person over trying to enter Sunrise Bar from the first floor.
Yeah, and that's the Twitch down. That's a nice amount of gadget denial gone from the board. Now those alibis are going to be staying a little bit more alive as No Toilet gets another one onto money with that shotgun. Really showing off why Pulse Shotgun is actually not a bad meta as overall, like, you know, it's either that or the UMP, a gun that people will always call the worst gun in the game, so, you know, why not take the shotgun? And as you can see, it's just doing work in the hands of No Toilet, as Bladderoid takes some shots from across the balcony there, as it looks like Big Sip's going to be landing in some shots as well. Toilet still staying in this position. Looks like someone's going to be entering his room. He's not looking in the right direction. He's going to go for the peek. Unfortunately, bad timing kicks in. Blasting shots left and right behind his counter. Will he be able to land them? Going for the C4 toss. He could not detonate it in time, as that C4 would have actually got him a double kill. Really well played from Mac to shut him down before he could get it going. But unfortunate for the side of No Toilet, as that was almost just the most beautiful Pulse play.
Yeah, fortunately for him, he did manage to waste a good old 2 minutes off the clock now. So we're in a 4v3 with 2 people on low health. We managed to get Big Sip using his ability to get people back up to mostly full, if not all the way full. Now they got to get a really difficult push upstairs as Buddy manages to get not Salmon. And now we're in a 2v4 with all the low health. And it looks like it's not favoring MIT in this particular case.
Oh my goodness. Big Sip taking down Bladderoid, living it down just the sides of Mac. And it looks like Rutgers will pull out their first defense win here for their side of the split. And oh my goodness. This is probably going to be the momentum they're going to need to be able to push things a little bit more further and end up bringing this as well onto attack. Since this will be their last round on defense, looks like they're opting to bring it to Penthouse Theater, a site that, generally speaking, isn't the most, like, you know, popular within the higher ranks, as, you know, generally people will start to, you know, realize that, hey, if we just enter the site, it's super hard for them to actually retake it. So we'll hopefully be able to see a little bit more of a, you know, how they're going to adjust to stuff like that, and it looks like we're already getting the Capcan to answer for that a little bit. And a clash.
Yep, that's going to be an exciting play. As I mentioned before, normally it's Sunrise and Blue Bar as the third site, but they're going in for the Spice Train. As we see, empowered by the Doc Revolver with the black ice skin, as you may have noticed. And seeing what they can pull off here, especially with the Capcan. They do have a Twitch, so they're going to have to be careful about where they place the Capcan trap.
Oh, I like this already. We already have the Clash hiding inside bathroom shower, trying to hide the pick of Clash altogether. Also didn't reinforce in order to do that as well, as she still does have her 2 reinforcements. So they're really just trying to hide the strat here and just surprise it to them last second. Looks like he's going to finally move out as there's 15 seconds on the clock. Quickly get that reinforcement and back himself back into the bathroom and hide a little bit longer.
Yeah, that's going to be a deep cut here, as Capcan actually has one of the better defender guns in the game. Weirdly enough, also with the glorious Russian reflex sight, which is one of the best ones in the game in my personal opinion.
Oh yeah, that gun right there is pretty much a laser. That thing does not have any recoil whatsoever, and it just dominates when you don't expect it to. Looks like we'll be getting some droning side, as they are going to opt to push in from Hookah side first, and the Clash coming out from the, you know, from the cloak, and going to be showing her presence down the 90 hallway there, as the push will start to be coming in. It looks like we're going to have a little bit of drone work. We're going to be seeing someone watching the other side of Laundry, just trying to sorry, not Laundry, the is it Luggage?
Luggage.
And we'll try to, shut them down and not allow them to push anywhere from the hallways and force them into the side of VIP.
Yeah, unfortunately, they're seeing all the Capcan traps, as that's what we saw Zofia shooting before from the other side of Hookah here. So we won't see many explosions. Maybe we might be able to see one of the sizes. Sophia has already walked onto site, or walked through Hookah already. As we have 2 people in Hookah side, 1 Hookah and 1 in the bar. And now they finally see the clash and try to hit the clash from the side with no success there.
Attackers dropped the diffuser.
Really good recognition that he could go for the wall bang there. Really good calls coming from NYT. They'll be throwing some grenades over at the clash, cooking them, trying to see what they can get. Doesn't look like they're going to be taking her down rather than just tickling her in the situation, as the rest of the defenders holding off super hard on the side of VIP. It looks like now Bud's going to be rotating toward there, trying to shut them down as they had to rotate over, as Mac actually opting to still stay in this area, taking down Big Sip, and also with a down Jackal beside him, will get revived from the teammate as they start to focus more on pushing heavy onto site, as we have some window play coming here, but No Toilet at Home playing heavy on that window as well. Won't be catching anyone and recognize that he's onto the roof now from the for the upstairs push.
Yeah, we now have a minute left in the round, and we're in a 4v5 with a couple people at medium and low health. And we're still in a really interesting situation. Nobody has exactly entered site, but they're looking to do that. And let's see if the clash rotates over to theater to see, just to prevent there. And let's see if the C4 manages to get them from good old Parmesan.
Yeah, he's waiting for it.
He might get 2. He might get 2 with that.
Throws it out. The immediate retreat from both of them. It looks like I think William actually perfectly ran away for it. And Blatteroid just went to go check another angle out real quick. Really unfortunate there, as they will take down 2 from the side of Rutgers. Push coming in. Shots getting fired back and forth. Blatteroid taking down Parmy at the end there. Buddy, last man standing as his other teammates down. Gonna be using the backside of that shield to try to block some bullets. Let him know it's immediately 180 flick. Take down Money. Buddy still holding down this position with that shield in his back. Takushin getting finished off. Push coming in. Will take down Not Salmon. A little bit left on Bud. Will opt to pull out the full shield. A couple seconds left on the clock. Sophia's gonna have to push this hard onto him, as he will get taken down. Buddy just trying to stall on for as long as he can. Really good play on him, but unfortunately Mac will come out on top and win this round for NYIT.
That clash definitely gave NYT a run for their money. Managed to get 2 kills and nearly stalled out the third. Just didn't turn quite enough to prevent the shooting in the foot. But definitely good effort from Rutgers there. And now we're in a 1-5 at the split. Let's see if we can see similar things. Actually bringing a Thatcher out this time, which we saw 0 of from NYT. So let's see how a Thatcher and Thermite. So let's see how this influences exactly how Rutgers will play. And right as I say that, they changed the Thatcher to a Jackal.
It's it's the usual, like, oh yeah, Thatcher's open, I should probably pick Thatcher. And then you realize, wait, this is Coastline. What am I breaching super hard? Whereas realistically, the only thing Thermite could really breach is any of the odd hard reinforcements, especially with the reinforcement on VIP side, where that wall just stops any long angles from VIP all the way into pool. So it looks like they'll be trying to opt to try to take VIP based off that pick alone, and see what they can pull off with that angle. And yeah, Thatcher just not really going to be seeing too much action, as there's no real bandit. There's Mute might get picked, give or take, depending on the situation, but most of the Mute drones will be used just to, Mute jammers will be used just to mainly focus on anti-intelligence.
This makes me wonder if they're going to be ballsy enough to try the upside down rappel onto bar, as it looks like specifically on this site, which I think they'd have an idea of where they're likely to go. The only real breachable wall is you have 2. You have the one inside VIP to give you sightlines into bar, and then the other one you have is the one into aquarium that breaches sightline into pool. And those are really the only 2 things, so we'll see exactly how they intend to leverage the Thermite.
Yeah, I'm going to take a wild bet and say it's probably the VIP one, as one's a lot more safer to pull off too. And, attackers, you have a bunch of ACOGs, super good angles for you to hold with all those ACOGs, and as soon as I say that, I realize the Nomad actually did bring the nice, lovely reflex. Looks like we're getting the push onto, VIP side here as the drone work comes out. Gonna be droning below as well, trying to see if they can sniff out any of the roamers, as C4 is such a very scary thing on this map. 2 drones are gonna pass by. Looks like the first drone didn't really catch the side of Blatteroid hiding in the corner there, and I'm not sure if the second one really got too deep in either. Looks like he will get misdroned, as No Toilet at Home just around the corner and just lurking about. Might be able to catch the footprints maybe and get wind that someone is playing around there. but I'm not too sure if he'll be able to catch it, as we also have the push coming in from above as well.
They're so close to each other.
They're just chilling, they're neighbors.
Yeah, they're being friendly as we had someone enter into VIP upstairs. And now we have 2 people on the first floor, and then that Jackal just chilling. And I think
They're
you might be able, yeah, I think you might be able to just get them on the white swing. But I'm pretty confident they know they're there. Otherwise, Jackal would probably not be sitting there. As we have 1:30 left in the round, they actually don't have a lot of time. But 5 on the side here as they do push into VIP, and that is likely where that Thatcher will be used. Oh no, he doesn't know he's there.
Oh, yeah, and there is the punishment for that drone work, and now Valkyrie gonna have full control of downstairs as she starts to swing around, realizing this Jackal was working alone and unfortunately got taken down. Now, Buddy also going down. That's the hard breach gone. C4 gets thrown up. Doesn't really catch anyone particularly, but does look like they get maybe a little bit tickled from that. As we do have Big Sip's Twitch drone pushing into Aqua, trying to get rid of some gadgets and hopefully give their team some intel, as they're not looking too good on this push. Looks like Mac actually overhealed himself. Might be seeing some wild swings coming in from here at him in the next couple seconds. I think he may be just prepping because of that Twitch drone, actually.
Yep. And now we're at a point where in a 3v5, not wholly unwinnable, but they did open the sight lines, as it looks like that. Ooh, the Legion is caught in between 3 different people, I think. Yeah, or at least 2 different people.
2 different there. As Blatteroid gonna save him from Big Sip's Reign of Terror.
Yeah, and it looks like they have someone now inside of Projector here, holding all the way along through the bedroom into VIP, as you're getting those long sight lines. As Parmesan finally manages to get Uyam, and we're in a 2v5 with 15 seconds, or 2v4 with 15 seconds left, as everyone's trying to push onto site here. And it looks like not much is going to happen here, as we'll see the sight lines here as we get a double convergence from Blatteroid and Money onto Parmesan and Taco.
And just really bad situation for the attackers there. Couldn't really reach the desired wall they wanted since Thermite was down. The Jackal just misdroning, I believe that was Blatteroid the entire time, as he was just downstairs on that sink. You really got to check all those corners for moments like that when the Valkyrie, realizing that you're not droning him out, or he never seen those nice yellow lights, that he could just sit there for the entire time and watch you peek the wrong way and just get that nice punish and save him from that as well. And I think, I don't know where the Valkyrie stepped exactly, but I think if he had his footprint scanner on sooner, he may have seen a bit of the footprints left inside of kitchen side without having to enter. As generally speaking, I would assume that the Valkyrie may have just stepped into that area for, habitual reasons.
Yeah, I think that the Valkyrie came in from Blue Bar, so you would have actually had to fully enter in to see it, or look down at the track there that the Valkyrie would have crossed. And now on the attacker side, we have a 6-pick onto Montaigne, which is going to be an exciting. We haven't seen the big shield. They're bringing in them shield ops today. And also the other spicy one is Capitao to try and clear out those people who are holed up in corners.
And, this site being in kitchen as well, it's going to be really good for Montaigne. He's going to be able to shut down that service door shots onto his teammates and kind of allow a little bit of a plant there, as he could just stand in front and guard the person behind him. And the only thing that's going to be able there to contest him is not Solomon bringing in the smoke and going to be able to gas him off, as well as Mira going to be able to, I believe if she walks toward that little half-wall area in service, she will be able to just lob the C4 full speed and full, length, and catch it possibly behind that shield there and take him down. As it looks like it's some cannons already going out early. Going to be trying to hunt down the drone as well. Not going to be optimal to do it as he goes for this palm peek. Doesn't really catch anyone, but Money will, as he takes down No Toilet at home. That's the Capital gone. That's a really big operator to be killing in this early off, especially with the Monty in play.
Yeah, it looks like it was from the front side there, the window that is next to theater, I think, as Blatteroid manages to take out Taco here. So that's both the IQ and the Capital gone. And it looks like they only have one avenue to plant.
Yeah, things are not looking too good, but I'm hoping if Harmy brought... Yeah, he looks like he did bring the smoke grenades. Gonna be able to still go for the smoke there, but the Uyam is still playing the Jackal... Sorry, not Jackal. Oh my goodness, I'm banking up. Jaeger, sorry. And gonna be able to, get the smoke off like that and still play just as aggressively. Unfortunately, not too many people behind to be able to pull too much off, as I think he actually got a little bit crossed up on where he's entering from exactly, as he kind of just walks back out of it. First smoke grenade goes out. Will take down a little bit of his health. Buddy gonna be pushing straight in, trying to capitalize off of the illusion that they backed off. Gonna be shooting straight into bathroom, not really connecting to anyone, and then finally taken down to a barrage of shots from Mac, as well as a smoke grenade that was placed a lot more shallow. Minute 30 seconds, things not looking good for Rutgers, but still definitely possible to pull back here. As this is match point, will they be able to pull it back? What do you think, Coinman?
I mean, let's see if the power of the good old Twitch Prime skin from that event that everyone generally was medium about, as it looks like Doc is prepping to do a run out upstairs. All right.
Oh, yeah.
And Doc's prepping to do one out, and it looks like we're just waiting just in the right time to try and push in. I wonder who's proning. I don't know where that is.
I think he's behind the desk. Yeah, right behind the desk there, waiting. Getting here to Monty, just big sip taking a nice big sip beside him, vaulting over, gonna try to take him out, but not Solomon, gonna cover his buddy and take down Big Sip as all the runouts come out. 2 kills for Parmesan. Will he get the third as he runs out? And he looks like he'll back right in, playing super aggressively, and in the moment as the adrenaline's flowing, not really connecting with anyone else. Looks like NYT gonna be playing a little bit more safe and waiting for him to push, as they have 30 seconds left on the clock to win this whole thing. Will he be able to pull it off? And he looks like he's gonna be throwing his drone as a little bit of bait as he gets some shots onto the Jaeger of Uyum. Oh, doesn't look like it took him down just yet. A little bit of health left on. Will he go for the peak again? Let's see.
All he has to, he's got 18 seconds here, so he just has to try and frag him out here, which seems somewhat unlikely. Nobody knows where anyone is, and let's see who runs it to who and who gets it. And it looks like William on the sliver of health manages to get Parmesan on this map. So this was a 7-1 split on NYT's map? Yeah?
Yeah. And honestly speaking, that was really good show from NYT. Really showing their dominance and putting their place down early. This match started like what, 9:20? I feel like.
Yeah, that was
a quick one.
Oh yeah, and that lines up exactly with my prediction, weirdly enough, because the last time NYT played, this was a 7-2 map in their favor. So that's a rather interesting instance. My question is, do you think we'll see the same kind of split, the 7-4, as the last time Rutgers played on their map?
Yeah, and as well as being border as well, another map that's kind of ended up being one of those, everyone played this map 1,000,000,006 times to the point where they know, okay, it's Armory. Do we push the nice, lovely Armory wall, or do we push Archive side? Like, honestly, the strats are like kind of like done over and over again to this point where it's all memorization. So it ends up becoming a matter of who wins more gunfights, who has that extra edge when they're holding those angles, and will be able to take them, or who is more proficient at pushing in on those people watching angles. So judging off of that, I'm thinking this might look a little bit more nice for New York Tech to be taking, as they've just been dominating on their pushes. Like, I do believe those timers were relatively high. And yeah, it looks like we'll be setting into border a little bit quicker than usual. 30 seconds as we enter, and it looks like both teams not opting to take their nice mandated 30 or 5-minute break. And
well, if it's optional, it's not mandated.
True, but most teams usually take this like a cool off. Looks like they're excited. They want to get this going, and
they're going the full
keep the fire burning.
Oh yeah.
And we get hugs and kisses getting sent out as we will start off on this map. Here we go. Rutgers starting on attack. The ban's probably going to be a nice, lovely Thatcher from being disappeared, as Thatcher just really speeds up the push coming in from attackers. And due to, Rutgers starting off attack, and also looking at the previous map, might not be a bad ban for New York Tech to throw out there, as the timer did get, they did get stalled out quite a bit, especially with the different pressure from the roamers that was being pulled off. So Thatcher would definitely be a really good pick for Rutgers in this map, and as well.
Yeah. The other thing I'm curious about is the over-under on how many times they're going to remember to shoot the helicopter, so that we don't have to listen to it all the time.
My bet is none. Because, you can never forget that you have to board the helicopter, and by shooting it, you also give out your position, because they just, go for the spawn peak, and suddenly it's like, the helicopter's not telling me to board it. Something's wrong here.
Yeah, they know the helicopter now knows exactly what's up because the helicopter now isn't responding anymore. As we see a Thatcher and Jackal ban here, which are relatively expected, which also points towards the defense wanting to do a more. It's either could be either of these two things: a target ban because Jackal is rather effective on the side of. Well, that's interesting. So I guess they just want to roam more, as New York Tech was leveraging Jackal pretty hard. So that self ban on a rather successful operator is likely because they want to roam a little bit more aggressively.
Yeah, because on the side of Rutgers, it didn't really go too well for them, as they did still get caught out due to like the misdrones. So yeah, Rutgers is gonna be opting to ban it and just not have to worry for the roamers. It looks like Mira will also be banned, another operator that just stalls out for so much time and you have to devote so much utility to get rid of. Gonna allow the no, actually, I would actually probably argue that at this point, Mira's not really like the character that puts down mirrors to like set up for kills. It's just an operator you play just to stall all the utility, just like you have to bring a Twitch drone, or you're gonna end up like playing down buck on the shotgun pellets onto certain spots in particular more than you would before. Various things, and at this point, Mira is just another operator. You don't get does not get to see the light of day.
Yeah, I do find it interesting that I will admit that I did say the wrong person banned the stuff. So Rutgers actually banned the Jackal. So that is also a target ban and useful ban at the same time, is for when they manage to get to their defensive half. So now we end up on the first defense, which is Armory Lockers, which is exactly what everyone expects.
Oh yeah, this site is pretty much it's almost at the point where like you don't know how to play Siege until you know how to defend Armory Lockers, because like this map has just been here for so long, and it looks like we're seeing the random into Amaru here. Will we see it get stuck? Nope, and immediately 6 picked off. As that's probably a mistake, as Amaru not really the strongest operator, especially on this site, since she can only repel into, well, she can repel up the hatch that might come into some use,
She
and then
can
the
also,
window on site.
yeah, don't forget Sandwich Window, that does exist.
Yeah, it's just that one's a little bit more crazy, as you hear the rappel coming in, and then you're just gonna think, well, there's only one window in this entire area. Let's just start shooting at it.
Well, this is why you bring the shotgun. And then you do the
Yes.
Amaru shotgun strat, which obviously is a brilliant idea that everyone shouldn't really do.
And then when the first shotgun runs out, you bring out the second shotgun. The
Yeah.
double shotgun strat, You know how like a long time ago Fortnite had like those double pump strats, so people just bring like 2 shotguns? No, we're bringing that to Siege now with Maru. Just start emptying the mag with the first shotgun, and then just bring the second shotgun out and start emptying the mag again. Easy.
Yeah, I'm waiting for we get the good old Doom shotgun in this game. So instead of the Boz G over under, we have the double shotgun only fires both at the same time spread, and that's going to be an interesting time for someone just getting blasted away with something more powerful than the SAS shot.
And then you'll see all the different people just of Doom start bringing it out, just full sprinting into sight as if they're just hunting down demons. As looks like the attacker is going to be trying to pull out here as the round has started, and they're going to have to gain that nice, lovely intel and start setting up.
That's a really high perk there. I rarely see people manage to get on top of the refrigerator in up there. Holy! And it looks like they do have 2 people in CCTV service up there, which is a rather interesting idea, as that normally doesn't happen.
And he's also going to have a Mozzie spider at that doorway, stopping any drone work, as well as being a vigil, trying to really just hold down the side of CCTV through just lack of information and not even really peeking. As you see Blatteroid just really kind of holding angle on top of the fridge, waiting until he hears the sound of a drone enter before hitting his ability, which will also pay off for him as well, since there is an IQ. However, on the opposite side of the map at the moment, but it will work out for them, and it looks like they're actually stalling them from being able to push onto the CCTV for a long period of time because of it.
And now we see the rappel up on Sandwich Window from No Toilet at Home here, as we see Mac with all his cameras out of him, with all his Jaeger utility. It looks like we're going to get some aggressive pushes, checking outside windows and such here. Yep, there we go. Let's see if he gets the sandwich, but that upside down rappel, getting it in, and good old placement on the Claymore there, getting out not Selman, as Money manages to take out Bud E. But that's a very advantageous position, getting that 2-for-1 there from No Toilet there.
Yeah, it looks like they were trying to do the double jump out on him, as one jumped out of AC, the other one jumped out of the lower in workshop, and No Toilet just recognizing that he put his Claymore, or there was a Claymore down on that window, will actually just focus entirely on the one that he knew that didn't, and just shut him down before he could even go for the peak. As he did also, I found it interesting that he kind of like looked for the Claymore as soon as he, oh my goodness, down he goes to the Claymore, or sorry, the Nitro Cell, getting tossed out from office.
Yeah, the Valkyrie proning there, you can see it just holding there with the C4 rip for a hot minute. And now we're in a 3v3 situation with one person at really low health. And now as we're trying to push onto site here, as all the sides are being broken, and there aren't very many safe places left for our friend Val.
Yeah, Wall's just crushing in around him. 30 seconds left on the clock. The time is ticking. How will Rutgers decide to attack this? As we still have Takushin going to be repelling in from the windows. Vladroy sitting by that window waiting and just watching the little crevice of it on low health. As they push into Archive here, being suppressed a little bit from the pressure of Mac being there. It looks like, I think, yeah, they're out of drones except for Parmy. So the drone economy, not very great. They're not going to be seeing the Vigil sitting behind him. He's going to be able to get a lovely flank here as he starts to push up. Down goes the Hibana. No toilet home. Pushing on the other side. Got a triple kill already. Will he keep it going?
Oh my god!
Oh, he pulled it off?
Yeah, he swung in as he saw him. Just watch this.
I thought there was 2 people left. I got
No,
surprised.
it was a 1v1.
Oh my goodness. He won it. And down, Rutgers will take that round at the very skin of their teeth. Very close round altogether. And it looks like we'll be heading into a little bit of a rehost. But mind you, the score is still 1-0 for Rutgers. And my god, Koyman, that beginning.
Yeah, that
off the
was
previous map. You think this might go better for Rutgers than previously thought?
Yeah, especially, I mean, like, MIT did a very reasonable defense, and then suddenly I don't know what happened in those last few seconds, because there was the same thing happened where it's a little bit different, where they didn't have any drones compared to a drone missing someone, and they still managed to turn around and just get the refrags and manage to pull it off. So it was rather impressive to me personally that was something that happened. That at least, and also winning that 1v1 when No Toilet was looking the entirely wrong direction. Or not wrong direction, but you can see it in the peripheral, and especially with the slightly restricted vision of the hollow sight compared to the reflex sight. That was definitely an impressive feat, especially considering from our perspective it was like a wild snap that managed to pull it off.
And yeah. Yeah, some of those reasons that might happen is just observer settings and whatnot. Just, every observer has different settings on their thing. Is generally, you usually try to keep it to one solid thing, but there's a small differences, and VSync is one that might generally cause stuff like that to happen. As we get this rehost coming in here, keeping the map onto border as it is Rutgers still turn to attack. They did win their first round, and it's going to bring them down to starting to attack on more than likely what would be the site of Vents, as Vents is a site that you kind of have to be able to hold the top floor almost as hard as you have to on Armory, because after a certain point, if you just lose the top floor, it kind of just becomes, okay, let me just take out the sledge and start the demo job. There'll be no more floors in about 2 seconds, and we'll just start shooting everyone that's beneath. And it just becomes hell on earth if you are in the site of Vents itself, as you start to have to do the math and try to figure out where you could stand and still get an angle on the entries, and kind of leave yourself exposed a little bit and pray to God that no one checks the hole above you. And it just all around just a really scary site to anchor on. And it does look like our rehost here will be used as well to kind of sub in Shekels here, which I think, if I do the math, who's missing? We still have Buddy, we still have Toilet, we still have Parmy. Who am I missing? We still have Taco.
I can't believe we forgot all the people we were on already.
It's like, come on. There's no way I can't remember this. Yeah, no. Why on earth would we look in the sheet? That's just cheating. Observer, of course, telling us, no, we do have a sheet that does say this stuff, but at this point, I feel like it's a little bit on,
it's on us
it's
to figure
a
it
pride
out.
thing, it's a pride thing.
So now the real question is, how do you think they're going to hold bathroom, if at all.
Honestly, I've seen the teams do it a variety of ways. Personally, I've always been a fan of just castling it off and leaving the rotation to allow you to kind of play in and out of it. And then if anyone opens up the castle rotation or the castle barricade, you just sit there, hold the angle, and start blasting anyone that enters the room. And it's honestly a lot of fun just sitting in there. However, it also kind of backfires when the entirety of site gets opened up, and then suddenly there's no way you could really feel like you could retake the site from that type of angle, especially with having to go through multiple rotations and push through from one side of the site all the way to the back end. Makes things very scary, and if teams know verticality enough, they would know that I think it's an office behind the desk that the thermite would usually breach to lead into archives. A huge sludge right there that would actually lead you into those angles inside a bathroom and all around make that a nice living hell for anyone inside bathroom. And at that point, they're just pushing in from hole to hole, and they're praying to God that no one is going to be catching them from above. So it kind of varies on how teams overall will just hold that above floor and also do their soft destruction. And back we go in here as we have Rutgers back on sack. Second round of Border.
Yeah, and the other thing that's rather interesting about the bathroom site specifically is it's also when that gets given up, it also makes it hard to hold site. So it's a rather interesting place in that respect where it's very strong until you don't have it. And then if you're the only one left in there, then it's hard to retake. So it's one of the more interesting groups on the map in that respect, where it's a very critical for many positions, while also being one of the most polarizing places for an operator to be either offense or defense.
Yeah, for sure. And it looks like we'll be seeing Parmy bringing out the Dokkaebi and No Toilet at Home, opting to bring Ash rather than Zofia. So we're going to see how these additions to the team change things up, as I do believe Dokkaebi is going to be kind of used here to just stop any of the rotations and sorry, not rotations, the hiding spots that they've been pulling off from NYT. And some of them have just gone misthrown, and some of them, we just see a nice little vigil hiding in the corner with low health. And hopefully we'll have a Dokkaebi to try to prevent stuff like that from happening. And all around, probably will lead off to a really good adjustment from Rutgers.
Yeah. I've always personally been a fan of trying to buck from below, and I wonder if that's one of the uses of the Ash, since they know that they have a habit of bringing a bandage, just that one Ash charge below to blow it up and then breach the wall from that respect.
I just realized I completely forgot the exact one, even though I said it. I realized, it actually is still the Armory, as I said it was Vince. But
yeah,
retry on Armory time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Attacker's objective is to defuse the bomb.
Looks like we will be regained a nice return of Armory site here. And Ash charges from below might weed out anyone who's sitting in a very generic location, especially when they drone them super hard as well. Army gonna be bringing in that nice, lovely DMR. Guns that are not generally too loved by the community, but definitely still work out really well once you start, spamming that left click as fast as you can there. And looks like we did get a nice petty charge on the door there. Wait, did he bring Boss G?
Yeah, no, but yeah. So when they were opening the side into the office server side over there, it looks like somebody from all the way from AC just managed to light someone up. Our good friend, Uyam, barely there. He must have been standing up, and they got a good clean shot through the little panels on the north side of that hallway as the DMR is just ripping that side apart.
Oh yeah, I think they did change the destructibility on a little bit, which is going to help quite a bit in this situation. Maestro running out from the side, trying to see if he gets some shots in. Won't miss all of them, but very, very ballsy to just jump out of a window and full sprint like that, especially on a character as heavy as Maestro. Call's going out, gonna see if they can flush him out as they go to answer the phone, but he will opt to just leave it to ring. You know what? It's fine. Who needs this buzzing noise anyways? We'll just go for another peek and they'll never expect it.
And it actually...
Yeah, it took a little bit of health off Parmy there.
Yeah, and fortunately now it actually turns off now as that drone gets shot because it got caught on the corner of the door. As we see Kaid not using the slug shotgun, interestingly.
Oh yeah, and ooh, it looks like we're gonna have Parmy just keep watching that angle as Shekel's gonna be in that area, gonna be aiming right at his teammate. Shots going down the hall, gonna take him down to a little bit of health left. There, as Money's gonna be blasting. William gonna take down Taco. The thermite player gone. No more hard breach, no more. And at this point, it's actually just all down to Shekels to open up any of the walls that they need to be open. Looks like he's gonna opt to playing more right straight onto archive site and challenge the rotation and just immediately get taken down as he enters. Not Salman gonna take down Shekels.
Yeah, now we're at 30 seconds left here as we're trying to do a full-on assault here with Buddy trying to try from below as they're going to try and plant over in the small side over there as they know exactly where he is, barely off with the shots from the Nomad below. 50 seconds left. They're going to have to try and plant with fragging out. We got Parmesan getting, wow, lots of things. Mac, and then finally a blast strike getting no toilet left as we have a 3, 2, 1, and no time left as Buddy is nowhere near the diffuser. Holy cow, that happened really fast.
Yeah, you gotta respect the attempt too at the very end there. He just whipped out the pistol and just full sprinted, where a lot of people would actually just opt to just save their KD and just sit there and just give up. But not, he wanted to go out fighting. He full sprinted with that pistol, try to see who he could catch moving around a corner. Unfortunately, could not clutch it out for his team. And the round will go to NYT.
And now we are going to be bringing in a sledge instead of a buck, which is a rather interesting choice here. As we move now into Vent's workshop, which we thought we might do anyway. So we have a Twitch Bug, Sophia, Sledge, and Nomad, which means no roof is safe.
Oh yeah. At this point, they're just gonna try to go full demolition here, as we do get the Hibana getting picked out. Nope, sorry, the Maverick getting picked out here. Gonna be able to burn that hatch. At this point, no matter what, it's still going to be a hard breacher, especially with Kaid in play. They're going to have to end up bringing Maverick overall. And actually, I finally remembered who they subbed out. It was Big Sip with the Doc.
Ah, yes. Okay. Hey, we figured it out, ladies and gentlemen.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
Yeah, a little bit of substitution, as it is legal to, substitute someone on repos, which is nice, especially when, we're all in universities and colleges. We have to, not every single time our schedules are clean, especially with the exams coming up. Oh boy.
Ha, you fools. You're not in the quarter system.
Oh boy. Wait, what's a quarter system?
We work in quarters, so we have twice as many exam weeks as you do.
Oh, that doesn't sound like fun. I'd rather my organized hell to half points every single time.
Well, we only take 3 classes a term, though, so see, that's the difference.
Yeah, but I feel like at the same time, those classes are now just going to suddenly decide, you know what, more coursework, because they can get away with it easier.
Well, I mean, that's how we work anyways. Like, there is no free time, as we call it here at WPI. As we see the standard, or pushing in, checking all the sides, and seeing if the jail wall has been, or detention wall, as people like saying it, has been breached for the run out. And as they're now checking CCTV to see if anyone is in there. 2 drones in that little doorway as they're moving right into CCTV and food over there.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to opt to just keep this more toward the side of vents instead of having their little bit of anti-droning trickery that they had last time in CCTV. As this time, looks like they're going to see Blatteroid as the drone gets taken out. Taco going to be pushing alongside a Buddy onto the armory wall here, as they already get some of the holes opening up some nice sight lines from that doorway. And hopefully see him as he crosses over that door, but doesn't look like he will take a little bit of health there, but still keep his life as he does rotate to the other side. Nice seeing some sledge angles get opened up. It looks like he kind of swung and missed there as Taco going to entry, get taken down to the melee hole onto the wall as Money will headshot him. And at this point, he's going to just be playing a lot more reserve, dropping down the hatch, leaving them with the top floor and making them have to do all this drone work to try to see if he is or isn't still up there.
With a minute and a half left, that was actually a rather good hold upstairs as we get the 3-wall Kaid, or 2-wall, as it was slightly misplaced, but now you can do the 3-wall Kaid. as the window's getting opened, and now we're finally pushing down the side with a minute left, with contesting the upside down rappel, which is a rather impressive move, personally. It looks like now full upstairs control is had by Rutgers with a minute left in the clock, and they only have one person who can open everything up here, with Rutgers with the slight health advantage.
Yeah, looks like they're getting some nice drone work coming in first before they commit to this push onto site. Getting the general gist of how the enemy team is playing. Try to figure out how they can enter this and adjust their defense. It looks like they're all kind of stacked up over there, as Bud will also take down Money, the one roamer that was coming up from behind. And yeah, at this point, they're all going to be kind of more congested toward that other side of site, and allowing Rutgers to try to capitalize on the side of Vince, as we have Shekels just walking in after the ADS is burned. Going to be trying to fire some shots toward Not Salmon. Looks like he will connect them right there, bringing this to a 4v2. Down goes Noise at home from Mac with the TCSG onto his head. And at this point, William and Mac going to have to hold down this site as the push coming in. 10 seconds left on the clock. Here we go. Mac takes down Shekels as he tries to enter from the side. Parmy going to start planting and miss all the chaos, as Bud going to still be above, trying to get into the position to cover, make sure no one gets in the rotation, and immediately the plant will go down. He will get up, try to go for a little bit of a shot, and take down one of the other defenders, as now it's just down left to the sludge, and Uyun will recognize this, start to creep his way up the stairs. 30 seconds left on the clock. Looks like he's just going to keep creeping and keep slow walking, but the time is ticking. Will he be able to get it off in time? Bud recognizing that it's going to happen, immediately getting himself out of the room, allowing Uyum to just take the entire thing, and he's just going to play for the re-entry.
But does he have enough time to get back downstairs? No, he does, because the hatch is open. Yep. Do they know where the laser is? And yeah, he has enough time. Oh boy, that was a tight one.
Oh yeah. That right there was just, like, really unfortunate, just to be looking the wrong way at that peak. Fortunately, for Uyum, we'll be able to punish him right as he does it and win him the round.
That was unfortunate. That was so close to being done, as I just noticed our titles, but we don't need to notice that too much. And now we are moving to Custom Supply, as they now have won the rotation after a first round failure to do so. So now we're doing Custom Supply. That detention wall is going to be fun. Now we're bringing a Finka, which means we might just be pushing, or maybe not, or Nomad. Let us do the fun thing. The fun thing is more fun.
Oh, we'll see the Rook armor get into play here. Rook, a really good ACOG operator, just throwing down that armor, making sure his team goes down. But no, they would not make sure his team goes down, as he gets 6 picked off, as that did look like a random pick. 8 seconds in the clock. Will he decide? And it looks like we're bringing Blatteroid on mute to deny that nice intel, as... Oh, no, am I about to get bait again? No. Okay, looks like we're sticking it.
I do find it mildly interesting that there isn't another hard breach operator to try and get that detention wall open. It looks like it was decided that the CC hatch is going to be their method into site primarily.
Or possibly even they could also burn down the jail side using the Maverick as well. And, you know, by bringing Maverick to do it, it'll allow them to just ignore the anti-breach and any bit of bandit tricking that Not Salmon will try to attempt here. So might end up working out in their favor onto whichever side they end up taking it. Or they make it suicidal a little bit and try to take a passport and burn there. I say suicidal because it's, you know, you can get peeked from the doorway, get peeked from above, or just quite possibly someone jumps out the back and just immediately guns in as he tries to re-enter into the building.
There's an interesting question where, or this is a question to you, Keldav. Does the thing still work where if you Maverick the top part of the reinforcement, the bottom part of the reinforcement?
Yeah, it still works, and a lot of teams will be bringing it, as especially since they do have a buck in play. It looks like they'll be playing toward that, as once that once that reinforcement does get broken down, the buck will just immediately shotgunning it, opening it up within 2 seconds, and not putting any further stress onto his team.
And that must be their thought there. Shekels managed to get Uyum, I guess, trying to do that really deep pick. Where was that from? Must have been upstairs, I guess.
CCTV?
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? But Money managed. Yeah, and Money managed to get Parmesan, as that's the Maverick down, which means no walls will be open, and they're gonna have to do this the hard way.
Yeah, that's a really good pick from the side with NYT, shutting down the hard breach this early off. is such a major thing. And at this point, yeah, they're going to have to be focusing on soft breach from above and then just walking into sight normally because, and if you can see the setup here from YG, it's going to be kind of hard for them to pull off as they have their entire team scattered across their first floor. So if they try to push directly into sight, they'll just get flanked by the person sitting inside of either here in office, or in teller, sorry, or inside of, I believe that is workshop in server area. And, you know, all around, it's going to be a little bit difficult. Fortunately, do have quite a bit of soft breach for them to bring and be able to pull it off. We'll see if they'll be able to pull it through, though.
Yeah, we're at 1:20 left now, and we are in a 4v4, so this is still relatively even. I don't think they know the Jaeger's there, as the drone now definitely sees the Jaeger, and they're going to try and get the Jaeger legs. Jaeger is lit. They both traded roughly the same amount of health here, as Jaeger is most definitely now pinned, as it looks like we're seeing support here for someone else. As they're trying to get the prone in, and the prone does work, but Blastoid in there getting to refrag with the good old SMG-11.
That is some real wild stuff. Just seeing the prone Zofia pistol pick straight onto the head. Really well played from the toilet. Unfortunately, did not work out for him as, you know, NYT bringing in some reinforcements to help stop things from like that from happening before they're too late. Really well played on YT to make sure that it doesn't get too far.
Yeah, and we're looking at a reclaimed C4 here, as I don't know exactly what's going on there. He must be out of buck.
Yeah, he's out of buck shotguns there. You can see the icon.
Ah, that's exciting. Well, that's unfortunate here, as we got to move down into 17 seconds left here. They got to try and push into sight and try and claim it here. So it looks like we have a pre-placed C4 from the Bandit and the Kaid checking in on all the things here. And they got 10 seconds left. They're just going to do a wild push here to try and succeed and try and do the SMG-11 with some great spray and not enough time to get inside sight.
Oh, yeah, even if he got on site, it looks like he still had the lesion boot in his leg too, preventing him from being able to plant. Really unfortunate for Rutgers there, but unfortunately just took too much time, and I think a lot of that was due to the lack of the pressure that Maverick should be able to enforce in that site. Yeah, just lack of Maverick and off the beginning really stopped him being able to open that wall. And then it kind of just changed the pace for Taco, as generally his plan was supposed to be playing off of the Maverick and opening up the wall and pushing with them. And then they just had to, at that point, really just make new decisions and redesign the entire attack strategy on the spot. And as you can see, that was pretty much the result of that. And it worked out for the beginning part, but then after a while, you know, time starts ticking down and they realize they don't have a really good solid attack strategy foresight, and then it just ends out in just being a timeout. Looks like we will be heading into Armory and Lockers for our next site here as NYT returns here. And we'll be bringing in the Valkyrie and Maestro, two operators that last time pretty much didn't really get brought too much on the other map, as Maestro was banned, and I don't think we actually even got to see a Valkyrie by the end of it. I don't think we did, yeah. Is that a silencer on that Desert Eagle? Am I seeing right? Oh yeah. He's actually just trying to be full stealth here, bringing in the golden gun, and the lovely, is that actually a silencer onto it as well. And it looks like we will be getting a nice standard, you know, reinforcement, standard cameras being thrown up. The timer will start soon for the attack round to come out here. Rutgers is going to be trying to really bring this back as the, you know, the rounds starting to favor NY really hard here as well. And oh my goodness, please let me in. Looks like he will get in, and the cam going out immediately. Not Salmon going to be opting to hide inside CCTV from the side of the armory door. There's entry. A little bit interesting way to get in, but it looks like they'll be using it just you know, it's technically quicker if they run through there than the whole hallway. And here we go, the attack starts going. We will have Taco and Shekels looking, putting their crosshairs onto the side of CCTV. Gonna be able to see if they're able to pull something out here, as we do have Rutgers trying to make this push come in as well.
Yeah, and also we have an interesting point here as to how long the Maestro will end up staying upstairs. He did open the drop, and I wonder if he ended up pre-directioning his Evil Eyes. Nope, he already dropped already. So that's an interesting move to move so quickly out of CC. Is there anyone even holding CT? As Bandit in the run out gets only a little bit of taco, but it takes his own get his own life taken for it. I don't believe there's anyone left in CC. It was just the Maestro who dropped, which is a rather interesting choice.
Oh yeah, and now Bud's gonna be able to get those shots onto the floor. You're gonna be able to open up that Bandit wall. Taco gonna open up that nice wall, as Money is gonna be the only one really on sight from behind there, as Blatteroid gonna get taken down from below, wall below, and gonna stop the buck, or try to stop the buck, unfortunately not pull it off here. Army gonna be starting to come back toward his team, as Buck gonna just, at this point, just run away with it and just start blowing everything up. Toilet gonna take down Mac as he enters in CCTV. So it sounds like a little bit of a plant sound going off, but not quite. Plant sticking down as Shekels gonna headshot Uyum and punish him for trying to peek. Money super low and getting shot up all over left and right. They know where he is. Will he be able to pull something out here? As down goes Parmy. Will he get another? No. Taco will shut him down and give Rutgers a nice 2-3 on attack so far.
I think that if Rutgers can end up with a 3-3 split here, they'll be very happy with that, as Border is one of the more defender-sided maps.
Yeah, this site is just, or this entire map is really just a matter of, I think at this point, comfort, because yeah, it is defender-sided in the sense that, you know, this entire game's defender-sided, where the defenders have so much utility to stall and stop the attackers, but there's not that much on the side of the attackers to be able to counter. But in this case, I think it's just like, it's not impossible for New York to be able to pull it on attack still.
Oh yeah, it's just that when you go 4-2, it's much easier than 3-3, as they're going to try Armory Lockers again with a Goyo this time. Second time we've seen Goyo, and a Kaid, and a Bandit. I guess I lied about the Goyo, and it happens to be a Vigil this time. Yeah. I do like the tech pick of Gridlock in this case to prevent the flank from behind, which is something they got by once on Clubhouse, and then they haven't had that happen yet currently on this map, so it looks like they're hedging their bets on this particular attack.
And also, I'm kind of curious to see the the 6-pick onto the Vigil, whereas Goyo definitely an operator that will stall them out, but I do actually I think only one Goyo pick got picked last time on the previous map, so we'd just be little bit of thing of maybe they don't have as well thought out Goyo strats, and rather just bring the Vigil and try to go for the nice disruption plays that they've been using on CCTV side. We'll just see probably a little bit as the round goes in from the plays that Blatteroid will be making as he roams here with Vigil. Looks like he's going to be opting to just hide inside Fountain here, possibly hiding his 6-pick, or actually if he's hiding 6-pick, we wouldn't use that ability at all. Just try to hide there as well.
Yeah, and it looks like now he's rotating out to the east stair side, the Vigil there. And now we see a full frontal assault from the west side of the building, which I would colloquially call the front, even though it isn't on the map.
Oh yeah. And, ooh, looks like you can see the holographic Zofia site. You can see those 100% often. As a lot of people just kind of opt to take something more of an ACOG on that operator, because generally speaking, you have operators like Ash kind of doing the same purpose, but probably also a nice thing for him to take just out of the comfort of the operator and the gadget as well.
Yeah, and it looks like we've pre-placed double claymores now for the double run out here, as we're going to get that repel on sandwich window. It's splitting up that site so that now they can't rotate, and Bandit is now trapped on that side of the map.
See Bud shotgunning down the teller side, going to be entering through there and see if he can get some vertical play from below, as he uses his own super shorty to possibly get the shots onto above. Looks like we'll be seeing the entirety of blue just being blasted open from Zofia. Not Salmon going to be trying to stick onto this wall still, despite all the pressure going on. Try to use his presence to stop the wall from being breached altogether. As No Toilet going to be droning out here. Going to spot him as Money is going to be headshotting Bud from below. Down goes, I believe that is the Gridlock. Money going for the run out. Can he catch the Thermite? No, he can't, unfortunately. Just barely missing the head and bringing Thermite down just to 90% health there, I think.
That was the perfect opportunity squandered by the existence of recoil.
Oh yeah, just really unfortunate situation. Looks like down he will go now. The Legion getting taken down. Blatteroid going to come in for the flank and get the refrag. Will Parmy be able to capitalize onto the Vigil? Yes, he will. Headshot onto the Vigil. Goodbye. And now at this point, we're at a 3v3. He needs to get up. All of them need to get upstairs and be able to push onto the site as the Bandit's still playing on this wall aggressively. Looks like he's going to back off as he gets droned to get a better angle on it and return back onto the wall. Tricking Taco a little bit as he did see the Bandit a little further back. But down goes then the Bandit's battery as he peeks out immediately onto Taco, taking out his head. 30 seconds left on the clock. Here we go. Toilet going to be pushing in from below, trying to see if he can optimize onto the situation. But it looks like Parmy and him both going to be pushing up from metal detectors. Shots going through. Will connect a little bit back and forth. Down goes Kaid as he takes him down. Now it's just down to Uyum and Salman playing pretty split here. Going to be able to cover both sides as they're going to have to get the diffuser at this point. Parmy going to take down Uyum. It's all down to not Salman, who's just going to hide out by this wall. Parmy going to just try to push in immediately because they're not going to have enough time.
Because he ran into the goo on the way back in.
Yeah, just barely gets it. And not only that, but even Parmy just a couple shots away from taking him down too. Really well played from the Bandit, just knowing to play safe and just wait it out and wait for the plant and then push. Really good recognition, just really unfortunate for Rutgers there.
Yeah, that was most definitely Robin Hood's, Rutgers rounds. Wow, I don't know what I'm saying.
Robin
today.
Hood and Rutgers both.
Yes, both of them at the same time, taking the round from the rich and giving it to the poor in this particular case, you know? And we are in... It was definitely Rutgers' round to lose, at least at the end. It was a 2v2, very winnable, and it's just slow enough. Barely. As now we see our Armory Lockers defense with a Doc this time, and no Maestro. Interesting choice to abstain from Maestro, or I lied again. I'm very good at predicting things, I guess.
You're just clarifying, they're just hearing you right now, so they're like, wait, no, he's right, we do need to bring the Maestro, and then bring it the second you start going on a monologue,
Yeah, exactly. And you're like, oh wait, we gotta fix this, like, oh wait, I guess the commentator's saying something. And now it looks like a pretty traditional defense. The Jaeger just checking them drones out as, nothing crazy particular going on here. I'd be curious to see how they hold CC against how New York Tech did it on their half.
Yeah, because New York Tech, using the ability of just the two operators that shut down so much intelligence inside of CCTV. And we're gonna be seeing a different style come out here from Rutgers as it is their turn to defend now and use this a bit of advantage on a 2-4 scoreline for them. So they're gonna have to really pull this one back if they want to take it all the way.
Yep. And now we're at an interesting point where it looks like we're gonna see from Vent side the drone already taken out. Where did that sound come from? I have no clue.
It sounds like one of the windows got broken, but yeah, unfortunately, sound being lovely in this game could really be from anywhere. Ooh, looks like he gets caught on the run out from a drone. Well, actually, you know what? That's a successful run out. He ran out, didn't get shot, and took down a drone with him. I would say that's worth it.
That's a moderate profit, I guess. And now whiffing on this drone here, the Vigil. And now it looks like Vigil's getting pushed from the small office side. Maybe Teller's? I'm not entirely sure, but it looks, the Buck is over in Teller's side as the Vigil now runs away back upstairs, or at least into Visa office.
Yeah, we'll keep trying to use his ability to obscure his position. And there's no IQ being brought from NYT to punish him for using that ability loosely. So it's going to be very good for him just to keep maneuvering around and just tricking them with his gadget of his exact position. Looks like Bud just going to be prepping a nitrocell from behind his deployable shield. That is also banded as well, just to prevent any soft breach from hitting it directly. So if they actually peek and immediately shoot an Ash Charge directly at it, I'm pretty sure the Ash Charge will get destroyed.
Yep.
But it does not look like that setup will be happening, judging from the side of attackers on the side of NYT. So we're getting some shots. Will he get the C4 though?
Yeah, it looks like they're burning some ADS here. Now we have a minute left on the clock. Someone might have gotten flash, and it looks like we have the wide peek here from Money into Visa as trying to play downstairs. And let's see how effective the Buck is, and see if the Buck decides to look up instead of looking around trying to chase down the Vigil.
Ooh, he will go down as he gets almost Oh my goodness, Money just peeks in from the bathroom, takes down the Jaeger, who turns his head around, and also peeks in the reinforcements of Shekels coming in from behind. They will try to enter sight. Bud just getting demolished by Money from below, getting shotgun now. That's a triple kill now going for him. As they start to push into sight, Parmy gonna use this Maestro cam to ping out some enemies for Taco to start shooting, but it's just them two left alive. They're gonna have to pay a lot of attention with the surroundings. Taco trying to really hold down the fort as down goes Money from the hallway down, and Uyum will take down Parmy right back. Now she's down to Taco as he is not able to stop the push coming in from all angles, and Bladderoid gonna win it out for New York Tech.
That was definitely a rather interesting round. How do you think it fell apart at the end? Like, it was so close to being good and they were holding well. And then I guess it was just the incidental double kill, right? By Money that they barely whiffed on because they've got him down to about half, must have hit him in the shoulder a few times instead of the head.
Yeah.
But
I feel like that entire situation, knowing Taco and him being the person to spam like all the emotes in the CEA Discord and sometimes the Twitch chat too when other teams are playing. I have a feeling the team comments were just nothing but Monka S, Monka S, Monka S, Monka S, and then just shooting around every single direction in the storm of bullets with the SMG-11. That must have not been a very fun position to be playing in.
No, not particularly. Now we see an Albi, Pulse, Goyo, and let's see if any of these actually stay because I have a habit of making them change them on the defensive side. We're going back to Armory Lockers for the second attempt at the defenses. Now we're in a 2-5 situation, which means MYT is that much closer to either a draw or a...
Yeah, at this point, if Rutgers wants to get the win on their map, they're going to have to pull nothing but perfection here, because just by losing one of these sites in particular, they're going to put NYT into match point, and at that point, they're going to secure themselves at least a partial win at the very least. Sorry, a tie at the very least, and then kind of making Rutgers not able to capitalize too much off the situation. So at this point, we're going to see Rutgers trying to stop any of the mistakes from coming in and just polish up the way they're playing.
Yep, and now it looks like that Pulse is playing on the east stairs, preventing them drones from coming in as we have 4 seconds left until the round actually starts, and the Goyo gets kept. And then Taco putting up a Goyo shield right in that door, and I don't believe they have any real soft destruction aside from Mac here. So it looks like Mac is going to have to get both of the Goyos. Else, we're going to have to use some frag grenades to deal with that.
Oh yeah, and we're seeing nice Pulse play. I think he probably did get to see Money, but probably doesn't want to capitalize off anything off of it due to, that area not really going to be able to throw a C4 directly beneath him just yet until he enters. Not only that, but there's not too much to, if there's only one person, he's going to have to drone. He's going to have to play a little bit more safer and, not push himself into sight immediately, as the rest of them going to be entering CCTV here as they're more focused on it. It looks like, ooh, getting some shots onto the Albi, give out the position. A little bit of a unique setup there on the doorway because they can't really freely peek the door anymore, actually, due to the deployment shield being there. Fortunately, it could also be fragged out as well, but that's still going to cost them 1 utility just to do it. Oh my, actually, yeah, look at this position. Bud just sitting at the, very, very tip of the doorway.
Oh no, the Nomad pushing the... What? That's the first time I've ever seen that, as Money manages to take out Shekels here. I knew it could push you through soft surfaces as Buddy managed to take out Blastoid, but I didn't know it could push you through deployable shields. That's a new one.
Imagine if that was a Goyo shield, he would be dead.
Oh boy, goodness. That wide peek with the shotgun.
Yeah, Money is dead now just for that, and Notula Home will pick him off after downing him. He's just cooking the grenade as Buddy will find not Salmon, but also get the refrag from Mac as well, all the way inside of CCTV. And at this point, it's a 3v2. Things looking a little bit spicy for the attackers as they're going to have to push it in with some very interesting operators as Zofia and Nomad. Definitely operators you could make a clutch here, but you're still fighting No Toilet Home's Pulse Shotgun, as well as Goyo with that Vector. Sorry, I think he brought the TCSG in this case. And he's going to be really powerful with it as well, as he's just been nailing shots all game. Hopefully, we'll see a nice push come in as 45 seconds left on the clock. Will they be able to pull it off?
I'm not entirely... Because they still have to push out the people upstairs, and we still got the good old ACOG very, very blurred there, but it looks like they know where the Goyo is, and the C4, and we get the double concuss here coming in up top. and it looks like they're just trying to do the armory push here and see if they can find him where he is. And no, he gets hit once by the Goyo here, and it looks like, do we still have the C4? Yes, we do. So it looks like there'll be a C4 from below to save the day, most likely. Yeah, there's two of them. Oh, lordy. It looks like
he's waiting for the plant. Oh,
yeah, he's going for it. Yep, he got them both.
Here it comes. What? He missed?
Yeah, he got
Iron bars of
for
justice.
half. Oh, no. He missed Uyum for half, if you look at that. Oh, that's so rude.
Yeah, he hit the lighting of it, so like there's you can see that little piece of metal there as well, also saving him. That's such an unfortunate situation for the Pulse. That right there would have been the play of the game for him. And now at this point, he's gonna have to try to push onto both of them. Down will go the Nomad. Now it's just down to the Zofia of Mac as he's holding this small little pixel angle from the rappel. Will he be able to get this? Parmy's gonna go for the long arm. Will he get punished? He's just be waiting. Oh, he's not gonna be able to get it. And Rutgers will get the defuse, as unfortunately Mac could not get it without repelling in and leaving himself exposed to the Pulse with the shotgun.
I wanted that to be the play, and that was sad that that was not the play of the day.
That was so unfortunate, because that right there was prime, like, patience. You could really see him waiting for the pings to stay still, and both of them, when, like, right beside it, it's just so unfortunate. Right there, that would have instantly won them the game. But you know, they're still gonna pull out the win there. Rutgers gonna recover, still get it for themselves, and keep themselves in contention to possibly pull out a win here. As we do see a Frost get hard picked straight up into Vents. Interesting to not see that it was 6 picked, as you know that's an operator that you could easily bamboozle. But you know what? You could also be baiting that it was a random.
Nope, and it's a chosen there.
Yeah. Oh, the Lion getting picked. An operator that got nerfed recently and, generally speaking, used to be super strong now. Not as bad as before, but still definitely strong as that Lion's Roar will stop anyone from being able to move. And with the coordination of NYT, hopefully they could be able to weed out people and cause them to be trapped as they go for the pinch at the same time. I'm really curious to see here what Noitola at home has in store with these frost mats.
Yeah, it's not oppressive. Lion is not as oppressive as he was, which is really nice, and it's just a light. It's basically a light intel get instead of a we can now push into sight and kill everyone, which is a significant improvement in my opinion.
It went from being like a full-on rug football tackle into like a soccer injury or something. You know, like where they go for the kick and then just immediately flail over as they fall. I'm just rambling now.
Oh yeah, and as we move into the attacker side, we get a lot of people coming in from the south side vents. 4 of them even. Also, I do appreciate the double doors that now you can't get spawn peeked anymore from that.
Yeah, I actually didn't know that was a thing, and I just immediately saw that door being so wide, and I got confused for a solid second.
Yeah, and it looks like they're just going to try and do a quick push onto site as we have the Nomad and Lion in. Yep, they are now doing the pushy thing, and now he gets detected. Or, sorry, that's the Nomad in there, not being detected, because that's your own site.
Yeah, when you're on your own site, you definitely don't feel that much oppression from the Lion's Roar, unless, possibly you're on, there's a push coming in, but at that point, you're probably not going to get pushed that aggressively, as we do have a bit of a setup coming here onto the top floor, getting ready to refrag if anything did happen, as Shackle's going to be waiting inside of the side of Fountain for money to be able to push up, and probably set off one of those concussion mines that he has set up already. Bud going to be playing behind the shield, going to get some of the stuff destroyed due to Max and Sophia impacts. This money actually super lit. I didn't get to catch what hit him.
Yeah, and Buddy getting a little bit too, as Buddy managed to get Blisteroid here as they're trying to push into sight, and it looks like that was over on... Yeah, as Uyu managed to get Buddy as he pushes into Visa, where the friend was, and that frag grenade getting lightly rolled into our good friend the offices upstairs.
Yeah, looks like Not Salmon actually already going for a plant on site here. As there's still 4 left on the board, he will get it with no problems whatsoever and very loose cover. And at this point, Rutgers gonna have to make up for this mistake. Will they be able to pull it back, as Mac is just gonna run straight through onto site, taking everyone down as he can. No Toilet at home gonna be above, trying to figure out how he's gonna get himself back down. Shekels and Parmy gonna be pushing up from the back, but Mac ran full speed into the frost mat, and unfortunately, Rutgers will not know this just yet, as they have to pull this back here. Shekels, Bunny, and Parmy all getting picks for themselves. Parmy and Shekels, last man standing is Money and Salmon as they're outside. 9 seconds left on the clock. They're going to have to go for the diffuse right now, and there's the window. They missed it. They're not going to be able to get it. NYT going to be able to pull this to 6-3 as shots just going left and right from above.
That was so close. And then suddenly they just missed intel, and then everything fell apart. And that's one of those things where you just have to be careful about that, especially when you have no one or any way to make note of that particular side. So it's something that can happen to anyone. You just got to be a little bit careful about that. And now they're just fighting for the tie, which means that NYT will at least have the partial win. I believe that's what it's called.
Oh yeah, it would be a partial win at best if they were able to pull it back to 6-6. As there is no overtime with these rule sets just yet, but you know what? Next week I believe is the playoff week, and that week we'll end up getting nice overtimes. No more draws. We'll just see definitive wins and just all around really competitive play from both teams.
Yep. And now we're going to go back to Vent Workshop with the Frost hard picked again. It looks like they're going to try for the same setup because it was really close to being successful the last time with just a little bit of missed intel. It looks like they're bringing the Maestro this time, which they did not have prior.
Yeah, and that Maestro hopefully will give them the edge of knowing that the plant is going down and not, because before, like, NYT literally just won that round off of going for a plant that early off. Just didn't even bother taking top floor control and just, you know what? You don't have any cams in here. They don't have anything really stopping you. Just jump in there and play and tell me how it goes. Okay, what, you got it down? Okay, time to just switch shifts and just immediately start gunning as Mac just, before ran straight in and started taking the site down by storm until he hit the Frost man.
Also notice that they now have the bulletproof parameter that the Frost just put up. I'm not entirely sure where, maybe on the server particularly.
Yeah, it's gonna be facing toward the front door there.
Yep. And that was a different choice made this time around as well to try and get that extra bit of intel that they managed to miss the first time. But it looks like fundamentally roughly the same setup.
Yeah, definitely good to see the Rutgers make the adjustment onto the way that they have their intel located, just to prevent something like that happening again, as that is definitely not a mistake you want to make twice. And NYT going to be spawning in from the other side this time. Looks like we might be able to see a more aggressive push coming in from Archive, unless they decide to just rotate over all the way from there.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going to be slightly repositioning the alibi, so it looks like they're trying to get us if they blind shoot through the wall from the workshop or vent's window, they'll actually end up hitting the alibi.
Yeah, and Ella is just going to be playing above. Really good operator in the recent changes. Looks like Prone Peak on the door will get immediately caught out from the line. Just gunning as he sees the shoulder peek out first. Really unfortunate for Ella, but unfortunately that was not the play to Prone Peak like that. Looks like you will see a push onto this Maestro. Immediately, Uyum will just pop the head of Parmy, taking him down super quick. Now, Salmon, looks like we're just going to go for a nice fast breach onto this wall, as they have already control. You can see the red line just all across that entire half of the map. They have complete control here as Taco tries to just hide there, but Salmon going to catch it before he can get anything going. Now it's just down to No Toilet Home. One Frost mat left in his inventory and a line scan, and he's just going to be hoping to pull something out here. And down he goes. New York Tech gonna be taking the win for this match overall. It has the entire set as well. Really well played from them here, as they've just been dominant both maps, defense and attack both. Really showing their team play and refragging each other really consistently. Really well played from New York Tech today.
Yeah, that was definitely impressive considering what I expected the scoreline to be. But that was a good show, and then Money and Mac definitely being the top fragger, as it seems like both of them take the entry frag roles as that's what we primarily saw, especially on Coastline. It was that Mac was the Mac was the person who was the entry fragger. And it looks like we are going to be getting an interview here with Money from NYT and talk with them about their win this week in just a second here.
Oh yeah, and definitely a really really good win from them too as well. Just dominance on both maps, and at this point too, that was actually their last match before playoffs, which I'm not too sure if the math will add up to them being able to get in or not, as that cross division will definitely help them boost their way in if they're able to pull it out at the end there. So really important win for them as well, and hopefully they will be able to get that nice seeding spot into playoffs from it as we get things set up. Of course, I just want a quick shout out to our sponsors of CORSAIR, adding to the price pool, bringing out keyboards, bringing out lovely peripherals to our prize pool. Like, thank you very much for just doing that for us all. And of course, Rogue Energy adding to the price pool as well, off of the sales of anyone who uses code CEA for 10% off their energy drinks. Thank you as well. And of course, last but not least, our merch line actually got dropped a couple days ago. You can get some nice joggers, some nice hats, and of course, a lovely scroll. Or maybe, you know what, maybe you're just in need of a mouse pad. Look no further, because what's new does indeed bring in those nice merch stuff for us, as we do have a couple giveaways coming in to the announcements. If you scroll up there, you'll see a couple giveaways you can sign up for, and hopefully, you know what, you might be able to come out and win some nice merch. So yeah, check it out on our Discord, and also check out the store itself too. Even if you don't win, you know what, there's still some good merch, decently priced. Why not pick up some?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Let's get them ready. And now we get them interview.
Hello.
Hello.
What's up, guys?
Not much, you.
Nothing much. Just fragging.
Oh yeah. Going into this entire match today, Money, how are you feeling fighting Rutgers, a team that I mean, this is cross divisional week, so I'm gonna assume you don't have too much experience with fighting Rutgers in general.
No, not at all. We just went into it pretty much blind. We did our strats, everything worked out in the end for us. We tried to really take away from our last games because we've been having a rough season, but overall we're just trying to fix things up and push forward.
Yeah, for sure. Do you feel a lot of the improvements that you made over the entire season really came into play with this match, or do you feel
Yeah.
like you still have a lot of work on?
We definitely have a lot of work on, but definitely this match shows that progress is happening pretty rapidly.
Why do you think that you have an entry fragger? Because I noticed a lot that on the coastline you had. I apologize because I can't remember his name right now, or their name. Malv, I think it is.
Mac.
I probably Mac. Thank you.
Yeah.
Mac seemed to be the entry fragger for you. Is that a choice you consciously made, or something that incidentally happened?
Honestly, we just clear as a team. It doesn't really matter who gets the kills. It's just that we're droning for each other. We don't have an exact entry fragger. It's just both of us clear from either side and pinch defenders.
Yeah, and it seemed to work very well for you there on the side of coastline. Sorry, where it just pretty much had every single roamer pinched from every single angle.
Yeah.
It was just really well played from that entire map, and really good showing for you guys.
Thank
And
you.
between the two maps, did you feel any like difference from Rutgers, or like any worries that you had throughout?
No, in the beginning of Border, it was like we just messed up on that one first round and we were like getting a little antsy, but after that, we just held it together and took the W.
Yeah, for sure. Overall tonight, do you feel any like team members or like people you really want to specifically shout out as that match went on?
Definitely Salmon. Salmon came out in that game a lot with actually doing his job, which is support and holding the sites and getting walls open with thermite. Like it's hard for those players if they're not supported by their teammates. And most of the time we're like running around and he's always doing his job, and if we didn't have him, we couldn't really do anything.
Yeah, I think everyone in chat could definitely relate to the feeling of being a thermite main and then being stuck right outside of the wall you're supposed to reach and being told, okay, no, wait, we need to clear it out for you first. Don't do anything yet. Just sit there and
Yeah.
just drone. You know,
Be the support player. Be the support player. The nice
Yeah.
support player who
Exactly.
sits there, doesn't do anything, is extremely passive, and eventually might end up planting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's
It's,
the
it's
hardest thing, but you always need one. And
you always
he
need one,
takes that
and
role.
yeah, he did it very, very well. Like even I believe it was him that planted on that one site on Vents where you guys planted earlier, right? Where there's like
Yeah,
that,
yeah, it was him. It
yeah,
was Hibana.
that's a quite a bit of trust in his team just to be able to pull that off. Because when generally you see 4 people alive, and you hear okay now plant, you're already knowing you're being the human sacrifice.
Yeah. The frost plays from the other team really shocked us. We were like, what the hell happened here? It's last
they,
resort we see.
they never expect the frost to come out, you know.
Pocket strats were coming out at that board again.
And it actually did end up catching Mac as he's
Yeah,
like running through the entire site.
Matt got so mad. He droned the frost mat and then jumped into it. he started freaking out in chat.
Glorious. I mean, that's the point of the frostbite. You see it, and then you promptly forget. Same thing with the old Capcan traps.
Exactly.
That was the same thing. Oh, there's the laser, and you run into it and get down. And you're like, well, great.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Really good game tonight, Money. Thank you for coming out for this interview.
Thank you guys. Have a great night.
You too. And of course, thank you all for watching as well. I've been Keldev, joined here today by Coinman. Of course, as I said before, our lovely sponsors, please do check them out as we have lots of stuff going on as well. And also, nice shout out to our lovely observer here, Carpe, with giving us all the nice intel and footage here tonight. And I do believe we do have a match coming in tomorrow at 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. We have 2 matches coming out tonight, or tomorrow night, sorry.
Definitely not tonight.
For the first one, we will be having PSU versus CMU, and the second one will be George Mason versus North Carolina State. And sorry, PSU and CMU, in case you don't know, is Penn State and Carnegie Mellon University. Both really good teams playing in their cross-divisional matches as well. Hopefully we get a really good showing out of both those teams. And yeah, thank you all for this lovely cast, and I hope you all have a good night.
You too.
Wishing that I could run away with you. Imprisoned by fear, just pull me away, pull me